Okay, so you have completed your diagnostic review, and now it's time to turn your findings into a clear professional report. In this video, I will show you exactly how I organize and build a report of findings and recommendations in a way that builds trust with clients and leads naturally to paid cleanup work and ongoing services. Hi, I'm Veronica Wasek, the unstoppable introvert and founder of 5-Minute Bookkeeping. I help virtual bookkeepers to become confident professionals and thriving business owners. I remember when I used to struggle with putting together my report of findings. I was completely disorganized. It took me hours to pull everything together, and I often struggled to clearly communicate the value of my work to my clients. It felt overwhelming and frustrating, but over time, I developed a repeatable system for creating a clear professional report of findings and recommendations. And now it's one of the most powerful tools that I use to demonstrate my expertise and guide clients to the next step, which is more services. Today, I'm going to walk you through my process for putting together the report of findings and recommendations after completing a paid diagnostic review. You will learn how I organize the information, how I structure the report, and how I prepare the report to share it with the client. On the left side, I have the diagnostic review checklist. On the right is the report of findings and recommendations. As you can see, we have a very professional looking cover page. It has the company name. It says QuickBooks Diagnostic Review and Report of Findings and Recommendations. And then you would put your logo here. By the way, the software I'm using for the Report of Findings and Recommendations is Word. And then for the Diagnostic Review Checklist is Excel. If you're using Google, then you can use Google Docs and Google Sheets. On the next section, it says QuickBooks Online Diagnostic Review, and it gives the business owner some compelling writing about the value of the diagnostic review, and then what is our goal, which here it says our goal is to provide the client with clarity and actionable steps to improve the accuracy and reliability of their financial data. Then we have entered the period reviewed. The next section starts out with key financial areas assessed, and we'll go over each of the areas reviewed when we performed the paid diagnostic review. The order that we have on the report of findings is the same order that we have on our diagnostic review checklist. So for example, as you can see here, where we have QuickBooks Online version and user permissions, then when we go to our diagnostic review checklist, we have a section for that. And as you can see here in the checklist, we looked at the version of QuickBooks and whether it's the right version for them, the users that they have on their QuickBooks, and then any additional recommendations. So in this particular case, we went ahead and took a screenshot of our findings from the diagnostic review checklist, which is for this section here on the left, and we pasted that on the report on the right. So it saves a lot of time to be able to do screenshots from the checklist onto the report of findings. So in this particular case, then we want to point out to the client that we have 2 users, and then we have an accountant user. However, JK Tax is no longer working with the company, and their user credentials should be removed. We'll go to the balance sheet reconciliation to the tax return schedule L. So on the checklist, I'll just click on that tab. And as we can see, we don't have any findings. We basically just looked at the balance sheet in QuickBooks, compared it to the balance sheet on the tax return. In this case, everything reconciled, no cleanup needed. So we're good to go. Then we move on to banking and our review of bank and credit card accounts. So what we'll do here is take a screenshot from our checklist on the left and then paste that on the right. We have several more sections, as you can see, we look at old transactions in the bank feed and several other things that we review for. I won't take the time to show you all of that, but basically the idea is that for all the findings that we had, we're getting a screenshot on the left from the checklist, putting it onto our report. And again, it saves so much time. Hey, do me a favor. If you're finding this content helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to support this channel. And remember to tap that notification bell so you will always be notified when new videos are available. Let's go to undeposited funds. And you can see that we had some findings. So what I'll do here, just to show you how I get the screenshot, let me make this a little bit smaller so we can get that on the screenshot. And I will select from the area reviewed all the way to recommendations. Okay, I've got my screenshot, and then I will paste that. So it's that simple. So as you can see, we have 60 unclear transactions in undeposited funds from 2020 to 2024. We show the client the amount, and then we give a recommendation to review and clean up old balances in undeposited funds. And we tell the client exactly what's wrong with their books for every area that we review. Now let's go to profit and loss. We review all of the profit and loss account one by one. As you can see here, I have my checklist. As you can see, we have findings and then various areas where we said there's cleanup needed. To make this super simple, we filter for cleanup needed, select OK. So now we have all of the areas that we checked for that need cleanup. And we'll go ahead and take a screenshot to put on our report. I would normally continue getting more screenshots on the page, making sure that all of the items that say cleanup needed get onto the report. We'll do the same thing for the balance sheet. And let's take a look at the accounts receivable aging. And so here I'm just going to filter for everything that says cleanup needed. So it'll show me just this section. And I'll take my screenshot. And I'll put that in my report. So then you can see we have our screenshot with the findings for the chart of accounts, products and services list, payroll, inventory, sales taxes, etc. Then at the end, we want to provide the client our service recommendations, because what is the point of doing the paid diagnostic review and giving the client a report of findings if we don't give them our service recommendations? And this is the key. This is the secret sauce, guys, for doing the paid diagnostic review, going through that process, but then recommending services to the client. This really highlights your value. It positions you as a specialist, as an advisor to your client, and as someone who can bring solutions to your client. We're recommending cleanup and catch-up services, coaching and training if that's something that you do. Maybe you're going to do the cleanup and perhaps you're going to train the client's employees so that they can continue doing the books properly. You may offer the client some consulting services as well, maybe app integrations and other things that they may need. And then you will also recommend monthly bookkeeping services to ensure that their books are staying up to date and clean every single month. And notice, again, we're emphasizing the value to our client. So look at this section at the end. It says, by addressing the areas identified in this review, you'll gain financial clarity, peace of mind, and the confidence to make smarter business decisions. That is the point of the diagnostic review, and why we provide the service is to help our clients have that clarity, that peace of mind, and confidence. Do you want to learn more about my proven system for diagnosing my clients' messy books, my diagnostic checklist, and my reported findings and recommendations? I will link my full course on how to perform a paid diagnostic review in QBO. It is packed with the step-by-step process, templates, checklists, and everything that you need to perform paid diagnostic reviews with confidence. I'll go ahead and link that for you in the description. And I have a free gift for you. Sign up for my free Smart Review checklist, where I show you how I do a quick check of my clients' books in just 15 minutes. If you would like to dive deeper into the checklist that I use for every paid diagnostic review, be sure to watch this video. I will walk you through the key areas that I review to uncover bookkeeping issues and build a strong foundation for the reported findings and recommendations. I'll see you there.